Hello, is it me you're looking for? Stunty, I missed you. I'm glad you're back.
We got a dead
Stunty.
cat in here.
That's not very nice, is it?
Oh dear, I didn't feel very well earlier again. You know, after Destiny, I had to come off and I was like, oh, I still don't feel very well. And then the hangover kicked in
Right.
and it's disappeared now, thank goodness. What the hell is that?
What
I'm
did you
just looking at.
what
It's
did
a
you get up
great.
to then? Why did you get this hangover?
I'll talk about it in a potty.
Oh wait,
Oh,
this is the potty, mate. This is it.
God,
This is the future.
watch.
Testing.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Right,
Hello.
cool. Oh, I've returned.
I can't actually tell if the stream's going because I can't actually find it on YouTube. So can you tell me if it's streaming, please?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Mojo Interactive. Mojo Interactive. No. No. Normally it comes up to tell me it's live now, but it's not actually showing anything.
No, that's what I find a bit. That's a bit weird.
Yep, streaming 6 days ago. And stuff which you saw, which is just basically just for show, isn't it?
Right, it's streaming now. I think I don't know what happened last time.
So
Right.
yeah, it's just come on.
Sweet.
But yeah, it was quite a mad little joint, really. The only thing is, we left there for some reason, went to some moody place that wasn't really my cup of tea for music. But we stayed there. Well, I stayed there till 2:30, and then.
So the music wasn't to your taste, and it was a bit moody, but you were there till 2:30.
Yeah. Because I went upstairs onto the terrace bar. They had a terrace bar upstairs, so it was nice and quiet up there, and loads of us all went up there. We were all chatting away as you do, yeah, it was entertaining. Oh, and then my mate had, which I'll talk about in the podcast in a second. And then my mate had an argument with the dude in Subway.
No.
Which I'll talk about in a bit.
Oh, has Alex joined us yet?
Not seen him.
Alex, what are you doing?
He might be on the loo or something quickly.
He always has problems with his Skype because he's a bit of a noob when it comes to technology. A bit like Stunty, really.
Hey! Everything wrong with my technology. It's not my fault. Windows is normally crap.
Oh dear.
Or Microsoft. I don't have a problem. My computer works fine. It's what Microsoft does to my computer that pisses me off. Is they update things and change things and remove things.
Everything does that now. Your mobiles, you go to sleep and then wake up and it's fucking all loads of shit.
I had it this morning. It's like I went onto eBay this morning, and I've got a certain section on eBay where I follow certain things just in case something comes up for sale that I'm really interested in. It comes in a follow page, and it was changed yesterday. It was called the saves page. So it's save. So it's like, so I couldn't work that out, and then this morning it's gone back to the follow again. So it's like they're updating the app and then changing the app back to what it was.
I blame the user, really.
We had an interesting conversation yesterday in the pub. Basically, we got to the pub and we were sitting there. My mate's got an S8 phone.
Oh yeah.
And I've got an S8 now as well. And I pulled mine out and I was like, and he goes, "Why have you got that big fat, the case on it?" Because I got a plastic case that covers the back and covers the front as well. I said, "Well, because I don't want to drop it and the rest of it." And I said, "Yeah, but you can't use all the stuff on the side, on the edge. That's why they do it on the Samsungs." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm not really bothered about the bits on the edges. I just want the phone to work and not be dropped on the floor."
Carry on.
2 minutes later, he only dropped his phone on the floor.
No.
Yeah, he cracked the screen.
Oh, no way.
It was like Told you, you should have bought a case, shouldn't you?
Yeah, the case I've got for my S5, because I've got an S5 and an S7, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the case I had for my S5 had like little divots on the side where the buttons and the power and the volume and that is, so I could still push them in and like up and down the volume and everything on them.
Yeah, I've got that. I mean, the S8, they have a certain thing on the S8 which is basically right on the edge on the screen. It's like you can drag drag things open across.
Oh, I had that on mine. I've disabled that shit.
Yeah, it's just it's a shortcut, isn't it? Realistically, but it's something I never use. I wanted the cover on the case on the back, but the problem is I normally have those covers on the front, those cheap shit plastic things you put over the front, but they always look like dog shit after about a week, and they're all scratched up and the rest because they're not very good plastic screen covers. And the problem is in my job, I've always got my phone in my pocket, and it gets moved about quite a lot, rubs against my wallet. So that's why I got a cover. It was a plastic cover that goes on the front. It still looks small, it don't look like a big brick like some of them I've seen. I mean, you can get some of these big cases and they're really huge. But yeah, it was just funny. It was just a fact being. He says, "Oh yeah, don't need a case on mine." And he goes and drops it, and it's like, God knows how much that costs to fix. Put a new screen in that.
Well, I've got a S7 Edge,
and
I've just got one of those thin cases that goes like over the back of it, but it has, but you can still see the edge of the screen.
Hello, Keith.
So,
Howdy,
mate. So, and that's a thin case. So if I drop it, it still wouldn't do much damage. But it's always worth having a case on your phone, most definitely.
Oh yeah. Well, you hit it caught the corner, and then that's it. It just cracked straight across the screen.
This is the weird thing with my S7. I was lucky actually because the back part of the S7 anyway is sort of like a weird, sort of like glassy plastic.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to the front, and where I dropped that landed on a corner, and it's literally cracked the back cover, like from the corner out a fair bit. It's not really noticeable unless you really look at it, but if it had been on the front, it would have been like you'd have seen it straight away, sort of thing. I was quite lucky with that.
How you doing, Alex? You all right?
Yeah, good man. Just get myself a beer and smoked up. Have you started yet?
I don't want any beer.
No.
We're just about to start. Well, we're streaming at the moment, but we're just going to hit the record button momentarily.
I've got about an hour with you guys, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was going to say, before we started, Alex, did you see that someone's actually released like a NES game like within the last couple of weeks?
What's it called?
So it's something like Diet Runners something or other.
On an actual cart?
No, it's not on an actual cart. I think someone's just literally made it on NES hardware.
Oh, right.
I'll have to look up what it's actually called. But it looked pretty weird. The sprite art is pretty damn good for a what's it like a.
They're forever pushing that system all the time.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I'm wondering if you can actually download it and run it onto like the mini NES. Maybe that was why it was a big thing.
Yeah,
it comes out at the end of this month, doesn't it?
Yeah, hope we can mod that so we can play all the games on it. It would be cool.
Yeah, they'll mod it.
Pre-orders.
You've done yours,
pre-orders only, didn't they?
Yeah.
For the servicemen.
Yeah, I modded my mini NES. I think I've played it twice since then.
I must admit, I haven't played mine since last year. My NES, I put it in the lot.
Actually, I haven't either. I've been so fucking busy.
It's just another one of those things you buy and you just think, oh,
it's cool though. I mean, if there's a game you don't know of and someone says, "Oh, you played such and such on the NES," no, you can just fucking play it on that. It's great. Yeah. In fact, NES games have dropped in price since that thing, and I think what might happen with the SNES games might drop there as well because it's accessible. They could do, yeah.
To be honest, I think the whole retro gaming stuff is starting to drop anyway because the market's flooded now. I'm noticing lots of stuff dropping in price. All right, you might get the rare stuff, the real rare stuff, stay big value, but stuff like Zelda on the SNES, even you can now just go and buy it in CEX. Whereas you used to have to go on the internet to buy it, but now you go to CEX. Okay, CEX and a lot of their stuff is quite pricey, but now and again they do just think, oh, drop the price a little bit just to get rid of it.
Yeah, we can get lucky with some games, can't you? But I mean, Zelda was not a rare game, is it?
No.
It's a common game.
No.
You know, with the rarer stuff, collectors are just holding on to it, and then you've got like a demand and not enough games, so the prices just keep going up. But yeah, I mean, I do think they might drop a bit with the new SNES Mini coming out. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. It's called Running Diet or something. Amazon's Running Diet. It's a free
Never
thing.
heard of that.
Their first game was known as Protect Me Knight.
Never heard of it. Send me a link to it, dude, and I'll check that out.
Hold on, let's have a quick.
Are we going to start?
Someone sounds like they're dying.
I know. Been smoking a lot the last couple of days.
You need to quit, mate. Get back to Vape Nation.
Yeah.
How do I type in Skype chat?
How are you using Skype?
On my mobile.
Then I can't help you, sir.
Right,
are we ready? Are we ready to rock?
Yep.
Let's go.
Are we ready to rock?
Rock and roll.
So no, Alex is on a time limit.
I'll just send it to you on a DM or something, or I'll post it in our group chat actually on the Mojo thing.
Yeah, just do group chat. Right, so we'll do Alex, Stunty, Darren, then me.
Cool.
Yeah?
Cool. Yep.
Cool. Are you ready? Let me hit the record button.
Am I last, am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Well, I'm last, but yeah,
I
you're
need to
last
fart.
co-host. Right, you ready?
Yep.
And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Hello and welcome to Mojo Radio, episode... Oh, what episode are we on? 431 for Sunday, the 10th of September 2017. I'm your host, Mark Webb, Gamertag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby317, and joining me today is...
I'm Alex Crowley from Nintendo Arcade, and bonjour, monsieur.
I've just farted. I've just farted, and it smells of beer and cocktails. It's number one Stuntmaster.
Cup it.
Yeah.
Nice. And it's Sensei Switch bringing up the back end.
Hey. The smelly back
Good to
end.
hear from you guys.
I've not seen you for a while, Alex.
I know. I've been busy, dude. I've got a lot to do.
I hear you've been very busy.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, you've been ram raiding.
What have you been up to, sir?
Oh, mate. Where do I start? I've been to France, basically. Pretty much halfway from here to Madrid. A fucking long way.
And Madrid?
In 2 days. I mean, we went right down the south of France, mate. It was unbelievable in 2 days, there and back. It was fucking crazy. So here's the score, right? An English couple posted a for sale thread on Facebook of a load of arcade machines in a derelict building or barn in France where we went, and she was looking for offers to buy the whole lot. She put a load of pictures up on the place, and one of my mates got in contact with me, and before you know it, there's a whole consortium of collectors involved wanting to buy them all. So a deal was done at around about $5,000 for the whole lot.
Nice.
Right? So it all happened so fucking quickly. I mean, it was only like a week ago this was all being organised, and then it was like, right, we're going Friday. I said, you're joking? I said, really? I said, yeah, we've got to go because they're going off, and this is the only chance we're going to get in there and get them out, because they're going to have the builders in or something afterwards. They need them all clear. So it was all sorted. Eurotunnel, a Luton van. There was 7 of us, so we hired 4 Luton vans, which can basically get about 12 machines in a cab, in a van, which is overdoing it slightly. Really, 10's about, because you've got to watch your weight. You don't want to get nicked in France for being overweight. It's a fucking big fine. So,
especially the size of you.
Yeah. So we hired them, and we got to the Channel Tunnel for around about 4:45. That was Friday just gone. Went across, and then it was another 8 hours to the hotel, which was a shitty F1 hotel.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
do you know them? It was awful, god awful, honestly.
Can't be as bad as the one I've just been in Brighton.
Oh really? So we literally got there at 3:30 in the morning, and then got 3 hours kip. I had to get up again to do another hour on the road further south. And we arrived in this little, beautiful French little village, like a convoy of fucking Lutons. And it was up a hill, this village, in a tiny little road. You know, once you go up, you think you ain't going to be able to reverse back, turn around again. And we got all the way to the top, like little village, and they had their market out, and all these English guys turned up in these Lutons, and it was like, who the fuck are these? This English guy come over. There's a lot of English in the village. Two guys come over and said, "Oh, you're here for the arcade?" It's like everyone knew about it. I think they cornered a piece of the road off for us to get all the machines out because, you know, it's quite a big operation. So he said, "No, you've got to go back down the hill." So we went back down there, parked the vans up, and had a look in this place. And oh my God, guys, it was unbelievable. It was.
We got any pictures?
It's all on Facebook, dude.
Yeah.
So if you go onto Ninty Arcade Facebook, this is for listeners. All the pictures are on there. Ninty Arcade Facebook.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Some of that.
The building should have been condemned. In fact, if the building was in England, you'd have a cordon off around that whole thing. It was fucking crazy. Half the roof had caved in. 2 of the floors had dropped all the way through. The building was at least 200-300 years old. So you can imagine all the old beams going through to support the floor were rotten with woodworm. You could literally run your finger through the beam like a wasp's nest, like paper. It'd just come off. And one of the beams, there was 4 cabs at the top in the loft. Don't know how the fuck he got them up there. But they were 4 really rare games. So you're talking, right, Safari, which is really rare. Lunar Lander, Atari Lunar Lander with a big gear shift. So you can land your spaceships, a vector game. Goes for a couple of grand. What was the other one? Blue Shark, the one that was in Jaws film. Do you remember at the beginning of Jaws, the kids playing in the arcade?
Can't remember, to be honest. I haven't seen it for a long time.
Well, that game's quite desirable because of that. It's like, you know, that was up there, but we could not fucking get them down for love or money, honestly. It was so dangerous. The guys took all day trying to figure out how to get them down, and all we were supplied with was a shitty Wix, not Wix, but it was like a Wix's aluminium tower. It was pathetic. You know, you go up 5 foot up the tower and you felt like it was going to fall over. And he said to us that he had builders in to make it safe. He put acros up so we could walk around. Well, he'd got the wrong size acros, so the acros were not even tight. So they were doing nothing, basically. I just laughed at him. I said, "Are you kidding me? What the fuck's that?"
It looks like the place could come down any minute from the pictures.
Honestly, you put your foot through. We put our foot through the floor loads of times, and as soon as you move those machines, they weigh a lot.
Yeah,
800 kilos, especially the Atari ones. You know, you're moving weight around on the floor. Honestly,
bloody hell!
It was.
I'm just looking at the pictures of the holes in the floor. Fucking hell!
Yeah,
that is crazy.
It is totally crazy.
It's rotten to fuck.
Yeah, but they had must have had 70 machines in there.
70?
Yeah,
fucking
70 machines in there. The cab of the day has to be the Sega Jet Fighter, 1970.
Yeah,
it's about the size of an 8x4 shed.
What?
Right? It's an electrical mechanical game. So in the back of the cabinet, it's got like a conveyor belt of a map of a countryside with buildings on, and it's reflected through a half mirror, so it gives you like a draw distance, like it's really far away. So like it gives like you're looking from a jet fighter down onto the countryside, and it's just got all cogs and wheels and fucking shit inside. It's just incredible, absolutely incredible. The guy said they had calls from America, some museum in America that was interested in it, and we said no, we'll get it out. We had to get bashed through a door and get it out. Luckily it had wheels, we could pull it out through the house, and when we pulled it out, we're all in awe at it. It was just incredible. I've never seen anything like it. The artwork on it, it's just mad.
Nice.
I managed to get a rare Atari video pinball, which is really cool, a really rare game. That was worth the trip, really, for me. So it's kind of like the cross. So in the 70s, before video games, or when video games started to appear, 77, Space Invaders and all that, the cabinets that were around were all electrical, mechanical. So this is kind of like a crossover to video games. So it's got a screen inside, and it's also got like a playing field at the top of the cabinet of a pinball. Looks like a play field of a pinball, and it kind of reflects through a half mirror down. It's really hard to explain, but basically you're playing pinball on this arcade machine, but it's kind of like an illusion, if you like. It's really weird and cool. You got to see it. I also got a Midway M4, it's a black and white game, tank game, which is another rare game. I mean, fuck, man.
What was the coup with the places in? It looks like, was it an old arcade from?
Well, we all reckon that it was an operator, so an operator who supplied cabinets to arcade amusements.
Right.
Had either liquidated, or he may have used it as an overflow for his machines, because they weren't set up to play. They were all stacked up on top of each other.
So like a storage warehouse, but it looks like a house to a certain degree. And what made it get in such a disarray then? It just left.
Well, it hasn't been. Those games, if you look at all those games, they're all from the 70s and early 80s. There wasn't really anything past 1980 in there, so it's been left that long, since 70, 79, 80.
And the person that actually owned it was English then, were they? Or?
Yeah, well, they bought the house, but the house has been derelict for 30 years.
Fucking hell.
30 years.
They bought the house for $5,000. We all looked at them and think, you're fucking nuts.
Just recently they've just bought it?
Yeah.
So they were actually buying it to do it up, or what? Are they going to knock it down?
Well, this is the weird thing, because no, he said he's not knocking down, he's going to do it up. I looked at the guys and I said, there's no way you can do that up. It's a fucking shithole.
It looks like he's bought 4 walls and a ceiling, that's it.
Exactly. And all the walls had like 3-inch cracks all the way down them. It's not damp proof in it at all. It's just, you'd knock it down.
Yeah, start again.
Maybe because the mayor has a lot of say in France. So the mayor lived next door. He had a really posh house. So maybe he's saying, well, you can't knock it down. The only thing you can do with it is do it up. So maybe that's what they're thinking, but honestly, there's a fucking lot of work in there, honestly.
So how many arcade machines did you leave then?
Well, unfortunately, we left 4 of the cream up the top. We just couldn't get them down.
So do you think someone will go back there and get them out, do you think?
Possibly, if they're mad enough.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, everything can be rescued. I mean, I see it because I'm into the split-screen camper vans. I mean, I hear stories of people that go up into Sweden, and basically they even use a helicopter, and they just drag. It's mad. They just go up into
military exercise.
Well, what they do is change the subject very slightly, but in Sweden they weren't allowed to scrap their vehicles back in the day. So what they used to do is they used to just hide them. So they used to they used to hide them in the forests up in Sweden. So what happened is all these really rare split-screen campers are all right-hand drive. They're all Sambas. They're all just stashed in Sweden, right up these places you can never get access to. So what's happened is they've found them, and now they're using. They've said, right, well, we'll get a helicopter up there, and we're actually lift it out and then bring it down. So,
Yeah, what are they worth though?
Oh yeah, I know they're worth a hell of a lot more money, but at the end of the day, if something is rare and it's valuable. Someone will find
all we could do is take spares off it. I mean, we got the PCBs out.
Oh right, so you did rip them to bits and what you could have.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we took the PCBs out. We took the marquees off, bezels and that sort of thing. We saved as much as we could, but we didn't dare move the actual cabinet. Yeah. There were also Wurlitzer jukeboxes in there, but they were so far gone. I mean, you looked inside on it, they're all mechanical parts, aren't they? Metal cogs and stuff. They were rusted to fuck. I mean, that's a major restoration.
What about the records themselves? Were they being removed?
No, we didn't see any records in there. They were just kind of all stacked in and rusted.
That's quite sad, isn't it?
It is. And then there was like 6 pool tables stacked on top of my video pinball that we had to move. Can you imagine moving them?
Fucking
pool tables on end.
That's nuts.
Do you know what I mean? It was fucking mental. We literally had to push them over to get to it, and they literally landed on jukeboxes and shit. It was the only way to do it.
It's probably the weight of all that shit that put the floor through in the first place.
Yeah, totally. You know,
what was it? a video pinball, did you say?
It's Atari Video Pinball. It's called.
All right, okay. What actually is it? Basically a pinball game, but as a video style.
Well, yeah. This is where it's difficult. So it's an upright cabinet.
Right.
It's got a CRT in it.
Oh yeah.
So it's black and white CRT inside,
Mm-hmm.
which is reflected through a half. No, sorry. You have to see it. There's like make you imagine like a pinball table, just a playing field. Like if you took the glass off, you just saw the rubbers and the flippers and stuff. That's sort of on the roof of the cabinet, okay? And it's lit up with a black light, so it illuminates through a half mirror onto your CRT.
Right.
And the CRT just has the ball and the flippers, but because the playing field is reflected through a half mirror, it gives you the illusion that you're playing on an actual pinball table.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Space Invaders, when you play Space Invaders, the arcade machine, the monitor is actually at the bottom of the cabinet, and what you're actually
reflected
looking
up.
You get the mirror reflects. I've seen that
exactly.
quite a lot.
So that's what this does, but it reflects the playing field of the pinball from the top down. It's fucking weird, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, I've got a video of it streaming on our stream now as well.
Yeah.
It does look really cool.
Back then, they could have done really interesting, like, actual animated pinballs, couldn't they? By actually, like, reflecting, like, moving images onto the base of a pinball.
I mean, well, that's the 70s is quite an interesting era because all these companies, Atari, Nintendo, they're all just starting to get into something that was becoming really popular, video games. So they're all really experimenting with all these different controls. You know, how do we get kids interested in playing these games? I know what. I mean, you know, like Atari for Lunar Landing had this big shifter like you was in an actual spaceship. You know, it was, as a kid growing up, for me, all these arcades were just so amazing, you know, and this is why I go mad for it now. You know, this is why I go to France and risk my life trying to get them out because no one else is interested in them and they're just going to get fucking ruined and lost. And it's a big part of social history, really. Do you know what I mean?
Did you get any pinballs? Because I know you showed me some pictures. Did you get any out?
No, they were shot, mate.
They were all shot, were they?
Yeah, I mean, the guy, I mean, I don't know enough about pinballs, to be honest with you, to know what they're worth, but a lot of the guys were pulling out the top part of the pinball where the display is because they reckon that's where the money was because it's got all the electrics inside.
Right,
it's worth more than the actual table.
Yeah,
you might have some people that have got the original machine, but that top like display's damaged, and there's your replacement.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they get scratched, don't it? It's like that one I picked up a while back, when that sheriff one I've got, isn't it? You know, people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I need to get rid of that at some point if someone was interested in it.
They don't go for a lot, I'm afraid, unless it's a theme someone wants.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, there were a lot. See, really, the pinballs, where the money is with the pinballs is in the 80s, where it went, you know, with all the LED lights, and it went digital. Because you actually have PCBs in them. With the 60s pinballs, it's all electrical mechanical. So they just work on logic boards, you know, not PCBs as such, like we know. So the 80s pinballs are worth a lot more.
Yeah. So now that you've got all of this out, how long was it before all of you started fighting about who gets what?
Well, this is it. You'd think that, and we did discuss it, but we all kind of had an idea of what we wanted to take.
All right.
But we all said, I said to the guys, look, let's not put our names to anything yet until we get there and suss it out.
Yeah.
And see what we can get. So it was quite fluid. Everyone just started helping each other. And I was saying, do you want this? And they was like, no, I've already got one. I'm like, well, I'll take that. And I know Steve was looking for this particular cab. I said, yeah, Steve, there's one over here. So we're all helping each other.
Cool.
That's really good. I mean? That's really nice to hear.
Yeah, but the sad thing was Joe, who organised it, felt really bad because, you know, it was a disappointment, really, because we were promised a lot more machines than what we were shown.
Yeah.
Maybe our fault, maybe not for following that up. We also promised a lot of boxes and boxes of PCBs. There was none. And, you know, the cream at the top that we couldn't get down, you know, it's too dangerous. Joe spent most of the day trying to get those out, and while we were getting all the rest of the cabs, we felt really bad because he hadn't got anything.
Right.
So we said to him, well, you take the Sega Jet Rocket, because that's got to be worth a couple of grand easily, you know. So he took that. He also took a Sega Thunder Blade.
Right.
I don't know the game, but it's got like a moving chair. It's a flight game. I think that was probably the latest game in there. That was probably 1984, I think. I don't remember it, but they reckon that's worth a couple of grand on its own.
There was that cocktail one you showed me. I can't remember what was that one. Was it a cocktail one you showed me? It doesn't matter. Yeah, there was one that you showed me. I don't know. One of them that looked really cool. I can't remember what one it was now.
Yeah,
the pictures.
Yeah, there was a lot there, but there was a lot of shit there. I mean, I planned to fill my Luton van up. I came back with 2 arcade machines, but I feel like I came back with 2 of the best ones that came out of there. And I didn't want to come back. I could have filled it up with loads of cocktails, but they weren't worth. See, basically, he said all the cabs in there are £65 each, right? Whatever they are. Right. You just pick your cab, you go in there, it's yours for 65 quid.
Yeah, because of how it works out for the 5 grand. Yeah,
that's what he had in his head. He wanted 5 grand to pay off his house, which was I thought, well, that's a bit cheeky because a lot of the cabs in there are not worth even 65 quid.
So did you pay the 5 grand then?
No. I came back with 2, so he never got. So I took 800 cash with me. Right. I only handed over 120 quid.
Oh, right. So, right, okay. So he said there was.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean now. So, yeah,
but you didn't pay up front beforehand.
No, we didn't. We went there. They wanted English cash.
That's fair.
So we went there and, just did deals there in the street, basically. Everyone was hanging over cash in the street. It got a bit heated at one point.
Oh, really?
Because, because we couldn't get the cabs down. We wanted to save what we could off them at Bezel. Like that Safari cabinet. Who's that? But I think it's Taito. It's a really early black and white Taito arcade game. Fucking goes for a lot of money, guys. Really rare. Some of the American collectors would fucking pay a lot for it, but we couldn't get it down. So Ollie said, well, I'm getting the PCB out. I'm getting the marquee out as much as I can. And he started going, oh, you can't do that. You ruined my cab. I said, well, we can't get it down, pal. You can't leave it here. And he said, well, I want 100 quid for the PCB. He said, we're like, what? We've just gone up there, risked our life to get what we can out of it. You haven't done any effort into making it safe, and now you're wanting more. It was like, it got a little bit heated there. But in the end, the deals were done, and we sorted it out. And his wife turned up with a baby. The baby was only like 6 months old, walking through the house. And we were like, don't come in here. And she was like, it's my house. I said, yeah, it's really dangerous. She said, yeah, I know. I was like, fucking crazy.
Where were they from then in the UK then originally?
I didn't ask, mate. I didn't ask. They've been over there a couple of years, I think. There was quite a big English community in the village, we noticed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the houses are dirt cheap over there, but I don't know, what the score is, what you can do with them. Is there some sort of heritage, what do you call it, grade listing on them? I don't know.
Yeah, I know there's rules because like I know in Spain there's rules and regulations for what you can do, and also I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 years with the whole Brexit thing either.
No,
that could cause issues.
But the thing is, though, Paul, do you know how much do you reckon it cost me just to get there and back without even the cost of the cabs?
Oh, I bet you weren't. I mean, what was a Luton van? They're normally £80 a day. Well, that's what I get.
350 quid for Luton van for the weekend.
Yeah. What?
220 because you're going to France. Not many rentals would let me hire a Luton. I had to go to St Albans to get one. Yeah, insurance and breakdown.
Yeah, because they don't want to go overseas, do they?
No,
plus you got the tunnel as well. You've got to go through.
220 quid. Yeah. Fuel 200 quid.
How much is the tunnel? What?
Tolls. Do you know how much it cost me just to get down it in tolls? €100.
What?
That was like 90 odd quid.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
We couldn't believe it. We went through one. It was like 80 quid. We were like, what the fuck? No wonder the roads are empty. No one wants to go on them.
Well, yeah, I mean, those Lutons do drink as well. I mean, they're not they're a brick on the road, aren't they? So they're just like.
Well, ours had a speed limit on it, so we we couldn't go over 70. Even when we went down the hill, it was like, oh, this is slowing up, slowing down. It's like, what?
Oh yeah. I've had one of them.
Speed limiter on it.
Bastards.
The other guys didn't. So like we were. The only time we could catch them up was when they hit the lights and stuff. But yeah, it was mental. So I mean, even though I got those cabs for 65 quid, they've cost me £1,000. You know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, but it was a thoroughly enjoyable weekend.
Did you video some of it as well?
I wanted to, and it was difficult because it was so dangerous.
Right.
I didn't want to have. I wanted to look where I was going most of the time. It was that bad, Paul. Honestly.
Right.
Yeah, I just didn't feel safe with the phone and not concentrating on where you were walking, where you were stepping.
Yeah.
I filmed a little bit, but not a lot inside.
Yeah.
It was just too dangerous.
Right.
It really was. But the photos are up there on Nintendo Arcade.
Yeah.
Facebook, and I know Tony Temple, who's world champion at Missile Command. He's got a blog called the Arcade Blogger.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go on there, guys, he does some brilliant write-ups of raids, and I think he's going to do one of ours next week.
Sounds awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah, that's a good story to tell, man.
It is. Yeah.
The next time you do one of these, though, Alex, can you make sure you sign off that I can have all your collection, so that if you kill yourself, it's all sorted.
I'll do that just for you, mate.
Okay.
No
cheers.
worries. But I'll just finish off because I have got to go. I can't hang around too long, guys. I'm hang on a bit longer. I just want to say about the Switch. Have you bought any new games for the Switch, guys?
Don't know.
I bought.
You don't know one, no. You bought Splatoon. Well, I bought Mario and Rabbids. Have you heard about that game?
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of people were comparing it with XCOM.
Yeah,
you know how much I like XCOM, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. I'm loving it. It's absolutely awesome. It's great. So yeah, it plays just like XCOM. Basically, it's a turn-based strategy game. It's totally wacky and mad. I don't get the story at all. It's the two worlds have been mixed up, and Mario's world is in the Rabbit's world. I don't care for the story, but it's just totally out there. It's just a mad world you're in, and you're just fighting against these rabbits. It's very tactical. Loads of upgrades, so many different weapons. You can get these little tanks that you can send out, and they're like little sentry bombs, or you can put them on timers and they blow up, just like XCOM. And these are the things I didn't like about Fire Emblem. You know, there's no ranged attacks. This is great. You can have like I'm using Luigi, he's like a sniper. And, you know, you can put him on an area on your turn. So when it's the enemy's turn and they step on that area, he just goes into action, and he just shoots them with his sniper rifle. It's really fucking cool. It's got a lot of depth. But
is it worth 40? Well, 'cause it's 42 quid.
Yes.
It is worth 42 quid. Then right, okay.
I'm playing the fucking nuts out of it. I'm enjoying it. It's really, really cool. The only other game I've got, which I haven't played, it arrived on Friday, which is I think it's been out for ages, is the what's it called? My eyes are not right. Isaac.
Oh, the Binding of Isaac.
Binding of Isaac, which I've got a physical copy of for the Switch.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really good. Have you played it?
I played that on the PlayStation. I'm sure that was a PS Plus game, wasn't it, or something or other?
Was it? It looks really cool.
It's really weird. It's I think it's a bit fucked up as well.
It's
I've played it.
Game which is like Zelda, and you play as an aborted fetus or something.
That sounds just up my street.
Yeah, well, it's basically just like a twin stick shooter.
Yeah, well, I like that. Yeah, cool. But rock hard.
Like random power.
It is rock solid. Yeah, it's very, very tough.
But you do progress. You do feel like you're getting better and better each time, I think, don't you? That's what I've heard. I mean, it's a bit like Dark Souls. It's rock hard, but you do feel each time you play it, you're getting a bit further. You're eating away at the game. And that's cool. I don't mind that. It's when you've got, like, really bad collision detection, or the game is just badly, poorly designed, and it's just like, fuck this. So you just end up throwing your controls down. But if a game is well made and you feel like you're progressing, it's cool. I don't mind that. It's just rock hard. You know?
Yeah.
No, I've not really got any interest in that one, but the one before, the Rabbids game, I would like to get that at some point. The trouble is, though, I mean, this is not just Switch games. A lot of games are quite pricey at the moment. It's like Destiny 2 was like 46 quid. It's like they seem to have gone up a little bit more on prices at the moment.
Well, God, do you know what though? Pool games have always been in that price, haven't they? SNES games were 60 to 100 quid.
Yeah, well,
25 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, we think we went through the 360 days and they sort of dropped a little bit. They went to 37, 38 quid. So, and it's just we seem to have gone up. Okay. The Switch stuff, Nintendo stuff, always is pricey because it's new.
Yeah.
There was, I remember on the Wii U stuff came out and it was quite pricey.
Yeah, but everything on the Switch is more expensive. Like, I can't remember the arcade game I mentioned last week. There's an arcade game on Xbox and it's a tenner, and then on the Switch is 25 quid.
Yeah, that's not on, especially if it's DLC. That's fucking shit. But you know. 40, 50 quid for a game that's really good. I mean, I don't buy games like when you're talking about the 360 era, you could go into game, buy the latest game for 40 quid, and then a month later it'd be in the pre-owned, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we used to do. Just, I mean, there was rows and rows in game, weren't there? Pre-owned stuff.
Yeah.
It was so cheap back then. Those days are gone for some reason. I mean, I think now everyone just goes online to buy games, you know, through Amazon
or
Amazon.
I mean, like gamers, I'm surprised they're still going. Really, I mean, they're so fucking expensive. I think the only thing that's keeping them alive is people trading in.
Yeah, well, the one in Kingston, they've actually dedicated half of the shop now for PC gaming.
Yeah,
Really?
I've noticed that they've done. Yeah, I've noticed they've got more PC stuff in game now.
Well, like actually set up. You know, like you go in there and you play games on the PC, like shit like that. And I thought, I don't want to come here and do that. I want to come and see the games, but it's half the shop now.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I mean, people were saying like 5 years ago, or whatever, that PC gaming is dying. It's actually becoming more and more popular. It's really booming now, and I don't know if it's just the fact that people have a bit more disposable income to spend on building their rig, or they're just thinking to themselves, well, if I build my PC for $1,000, then I can get all my games for half the price of a console with better graphics.
Yeah.
No exclusives.
And on this exclusive bullshit, you know what I mean? So it's crazy how much PC gaming is really taking off at the moment. It's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, everyone's into it. I mean, not everyone. I'm not really into it. I just don't have time. I mean, well, that's my own preference anyway. I mean, I like the arcade stuff, restoring them. That's a big part of my hobby. And, you know, the research into the old games. I like new games as well. Obviously, I wouldn't come on here. I love all games, really, as long as they're good.
Yeah.
It's just time. I don't have time for all of it, you know.
I know. I wish there was more time.
Yeah. I'd love a good, cool PC setup, but I don't have the money. If I had that sort of money, I'd buy an arcade machine instead of a PC, you know. Just the way I am. But, yeah, there's definitely some cool stuff coming out. But, I mean, what with the new Xbox and that coming out, I think a lot of the 4K TVs coming down a lot in price. You might see a resurgence in console gaming again. I don't know. What do you think?
I just don't think we're there with the tellies, though. I mean,
console gaming's never 4K really dropped off.
I don't get the buzz. Everyone I speak to, this is not gaming people. This is just general people. They're not into the 4K. They're not really bothered. They just HD TV. That's all. The move from HD TV to 4K isn't like we went from CRT to HD. It's not.
Thought it was.
No, it's not. I mean, like, as an example for me, I mean, everyone was banging on, Horizon Zero Dawn looks so much better in 4K, blah, blah, blah. So I'd been playing it on my normal TV, on a normal PS4. Went round my mate. He's got a PS4 Pro and a 4K TV. He was like, God, check this out. It looks amazing. I was like, it looks exactly the same, mate. I said, I don't know if it's my eyes or what. It looks exactly the same. I don't see any difference. I think
it all depends on the size of the telly. It all depends on the size of the telly. If you're sitting so far away from your TV or you've got something under 50 inches, you're not really going to notice the difference.
So you need to get a big one then.
Hey.
Yeah, if you're getting a 4K telly, you want to get 50 inches or above, basically.
Fucking
Anything
hell,
under
that's
that is
huge.
pretty pointless. You say that, but most of the tellies now, you've pretty much lost all the bezel around the edge of them.
You have.
And they're proper, like, super thin. Like, I've got a 50-inch in my sort of man cave, and it's basically like a quarter of the size of like an old 21-inch CRT I used to have in here.
Yeah.
Thing.
I mean, the thing is, I know these consoles are really going on. Oh yeah, 4K is the future, and you know the Xbox One and the PS4 Pro, like 4K. It's like, so you know with a PC for example, the only way you're going to get 4K is by spending £600 on a graphics card. So in that respect, it's like fucking hell. The Xbox One at $450 for a whole console is a proper bargain for 4K.
Yeah.
But PC gaming, 4K isn't what PC gaming's about. It's all about 1440p, 60 frames per second minimum, and most people aren't happy unless it's 120 frames per second.
You know exactly why that is now. If you haven't got a 50-inch monitor, it's not going to really make any difference.
Oh no, you know, I mean, I've got a 26-inch monitor for my PC, and
so
all my games look better on
that. Yeah, it wouldn't look any different anyway.
No, you know, and I would rather, you know, games do, you know, 4K. Games might look better in 4K in the future. I don't know, but I don't see it as a be all and end all.
Aren't they? They're talking about 8K, aren't they now?
It's already out in Japan apparently or something. I mean, I think games in 1080p look great anyway. You know, but the thing that I'm looking for in my games now is how smooth they run, and I don't like them to just be choppy. So.
Yeah, if they've got a poor frame rate, what's the point?
So, and this is going to sound really snobby, but ever since I've built a PC and I play games on my PC at a really high frame rate, I do notice that difference when I play a console game now.
Yeah.
Destiny 2 is a prime example. I've played it on both the PC and the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. And after I played the console beta, went onto the PC beta, I was like, fucking hell! I noticed a difference straight away. It was so much smoother. That it was just no dips in frame rate, and the graphics just look so much better as well. Just because
you can't.
Can
you play against someone on an Xbox then?
No, you can't.
No, because I say it wouldn't work, would it? The frame rate difference.
See, all they needed to do for Destiny 2 is do a patch for the Xbox X and the PS4 Pro, 60 FPS.
Yeah, but they won't do it, mate, will they? Because they want to have parity.
Because they come out with these bullshit excuses, mate. I've got fucking plenty of games on my PS4 that's 60 FPS, 1080 options, and even running like games that haven't even got pro patches in boost mode boosts the frame rate. Of the games, so they run smoother, and I can guarantee you this. Call of Duty is going to be 60 FPS, the new one.
Well, the thing that I don't understand with Destiny is the fact that the PC specs to run it at a decent frame, like at 60 frames, is like it's really low specs PC you need. And so an Xbox or a PS4 could easily run it at 60 frames per second. So I don't know why they've kind of held it back. It just makes no sense to me.
Lost a lot of respect for Bungie as a developer over some of the shit they've pulled recently, really.
It's possible they've done it because they wanted to make sure it came out on launch and it worked. Because so many games, you might laugh, but so many games come out on launch and don't bloody work properly, or they've got issues with them. That maybe maybe they will do something, but they're not going to say anything. They've got to say, "Oh, we will change this to this," because they just wanted to get it out. You know, it's like the usual to have a deadline. It has to be done by that deadline. So I thought, right, leave it at 30. At least we know it's going to work, and it's going to work on launch. I mean, so far we've not really had server issues. There has been a little issue on the PS4 Pro, though, I've been told.
Yes, so basically on their lead platform for the game, they fucked up, and it's like
but it's only one day, I've been told. But who knows?
It seems to be a few days. I saw stuff on Twitter about it,
but who knows? But it might change in the future. But at the moment, they just want to get it out there, and also, the servers have held out. Otherwise, I mean. So far, I mean, normally if it's an EA game, bloody hell, day one it won't even work.
Going back to another thing we said before as well, this is why exclusives are good, because you only need to make them for one fucking system.
Yeah.
And you can push those systems to the limit to get everything out of them you possibly can, rather than having to spec it for all these different platforms.
Yeah. Can you see yourself getting into PC gaming then, Darren? You're more of a console guy,
I'm a physical. I like physical games.
Same as you, Paul, isn't it?
Well, I do. Yeah, I mean, I do actually have a PC. Not this one I'm on now, but I actually do have a PC that would run everything that's out today.
It's only really a couple of sort of like handful, a handful of like sort of MMO-y stuff I'd really play on it, and everything else I can buy on console anyway.
Yeah.
Or isn't on PC.
You're not thinking of getting a Switch? Well, you got
one. I haven't got one yet, but I am thinking of picking one up in the future.
Monster Hunter.
Things. Yeah, Double X would be interesting if obviously this new Monster Hunter world ends up being all dumbed down for the casuals, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of games appearing on it last couple of weeks, actually. I'm quite impressed.
Oh, yes, what was we going to say? The LA Noire.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it?
It's getting a release on pretty much everything, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man, because that was a really good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing is, though... Sorry, Darren. It's one of those games...
I keep jumping in.
That's all right. It's one of those games, though, that... Would you play it again if you've already played it? Because you know the story.
No,
I know you haven't. But
no, I'm not going to play it again, but...
No.
I still think it's pretty cool that they're doing it, though.
It's a good game, is it?
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't know if you'll enjoy it, Alex, because you don't really do story games, do you?
Story-based, is it? No.
Yeah.
All that shit.
No, see, that's... I didn't think you'd do that.
I want to just pick up a game and get straight into it. I'm never into the story-based games. I get bored.
Did you ever get the Rayman games?
No, they're okay.
Because there's a new one that came out that was on the Xbox 360 and that's now actually on the Switch. I've just noticed Rayman. I think it's Legends. I think it's called.
They've got a new Worms game, haven't they? Not that do we need another Worms game, but it's quite fun. And what was the other one? The Sonic Mania. You've played that since we last spoke, Paul?
I've played it shitloads.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, the only problem I'm having with it is the later levels are hard as nails.
Yeah. Old school, man.
It's old school, but that's what I like about it. I mean, the original Sonics I really, really enjoyed, and the levels were great, and some of them were really, really hard. The only little nitpick I'm going to have with Sonic Mania, though, is a couple of the levels do not feel like Sonic at all.
No.
And that is a little disappointing to me, because my memories of Sonic is just going as fast as you fucking can, and jump around. Maybe some of the underwater levels are a bit slower or whatnot, but there's one level in particular, I can't remember the name of the zone now, but there's like these electric balls and you got to go in them and time your fucking jumps. I don't know if you've got that far yet.
No.
Oh,
go on.
It's really annoying, and I'm just like, one, it's hard, so that's already pissed me off, but two, it's like, this isn't Sonic.
Yeah. I mean,
I was never a bit of me going on there.
I was never a big fan of Sonic back in the day, to be honest with you. I didn't like the way that... I liked it when it was speed, you're speeding up, you're getting the momentum going, and then suddenly it just comes to a halt. I found that quite sort of frustrating. And I do prefer more exploration in the game, like Mario, wander around, finding secrets and stuff like that. Yeah, it was okay, but I am enjoying what I've played so far of it.
And I'm really enjoying it because, I was a big Sega kid, so for me, Sonic's what I grew up with. Yeah. Especially Sonic 2 is what I have the most fondest memories of, and I actually replayed Sonic 2 on my Xbox just before getting Sonic Mania. And I just like the way they've remixed the levels, because there's some of the old mixed with some of the new. They've like melded levels together.
Yeah.
And it's really clever what they've done there. It really, really is.
It is a new game, but it feels old still. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
And I love the art style. I love that they kept like that pixel art style, because that is true Sonic to me. Yeah. I know there's another Sonic coming out this year as well. It's like a 3D/2D one. So that looks quite interesting. But
one other game I have been playing. I bought it's not a repro. I would say it's a fan-made based game on a Japanese release only for the Super Nintendo. It's called Rendering Ranger. Now, everyone knows if you're a Super Nintendo collector, this is one of the top-end games.
Rendering Ranger.
Yeah, it goes for about 1,500 to £2,000. It's
Jesus,
that rare.
Was that on the SNES, you say?
On the SNES. A Japanese release only for Super Famicom. They only made 1,000 copies, hence the price.
Wow.
And it is actually a very good game.
Made by Virgin Interactive?
Yes.
Yep, okay, I think I found the right video.
And this company called Fishy Face do fan-based... they're not repros because they basically got the ROM of the game and put it in an American cart with all new box art. So it doesn't look like a Japanese release at all. It's a completely new box art. It's exactly the same game, but they put it in an American US cart, which is great because that's what I collect, US carts. And it's fucking really cool. I can just plug it straight in. It's not emulated, straight into the fucking SNES. And it's called Rendering Ranger because it's got that rendered graphics like they did with Donkey Kong Country. But this is like the top end of that technology back then. It looks fucking awesome. So it's like a run and gun game, a bit like Turrican.
It looks a bit like Contra.
Yeah, a bit like Contra. And then you get to, it's quite a long level, the first level, and then it goes into a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, which is fucking cool. The music is amazing. The graphics look absolutely fantastic. It's just an awesome game. And I got that for 50 quid with an instruction manual box. But yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, if you look out for it, guys, Rendering Ranger. Hopefully when we get the SNES Mini, we can emulate. You guys can emulate because it is an expensive cart. Or look out for this company called Fishy Face. They do lots of kind of games that weren't released in Europe and US onto UK and US carts, which is pretty cool for the fans. Yeah.
Can I have a bit? I need a bit of advice really because I've got all my old retro consoles. Like, what's the best way to plug them into like a modern TV? Is there like?
You've got to be RGB.
Depends what they are though.
RGB in the back, Scott.
So what if like a Super Nintendo's are not like HDMI adapters or anything like that, or?
No, I don't.
Well, you can buy. Well, you can buy these port things.
The Retron, is it the Retron?
Retron 5?
No, not them. No, you can actually buy a box that can change an RGB into HDMI.
Yeah, how much is that though, Paul? You're better off getting a Retron, aren't you? That does all that.
Yeah, well, but if you've got so many different consoles, you're not going to have a Retron. Because Retrons are emulated anyway, aren't they? On them,
they do emulate, but you can play different consoles on it's an all-in-one basically.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah.
So that's
if
what
you can, you want a CRT really for retro gaming.
You do, you do. It looks completely different. So the top
end,
the best CRTs to get. If you're into retro gaming, you want the best picture, the best sound. Is a Bang Olufsen, 4000, I think it is.
Yeah, I got one here without a remote.
Without the remote.
Another. Yeah, the one I used to use a lot for my sort of SCART gaming back in the day was the old Sony Trinitrons.
Sony Triniton, again, beautiful picture, but it's not stereo sound, unfortunately.
Yeah, and occasionally you'd get like a slight picture shift on the SCART.
Yeah.
Which was a bit annoying.
But the B&Os, when they came out in 2000, I think it was, they were the Rolls-Royce of CRTs, basically. I think they retailed at about £2,000. Now you can pick them up for 50 quid. Maybe a bit more.
They're getting harder to find the CRTs now. They really are. They're starting to really disappear because
they will ditch them, don't they?
Well, yeah, but you used to even see them at the car boots. You're not even seeing them at the car boots anymore. Even the little 14 inches or 16 inches are disappearing. I mean, I picked up, I think I got two set here, little 14s in the loft.
I picked up a Bang Olufsen at a car boot, and the fucking thing had a child lock on it, so I had to throw it away.
Oh.
You couldn't. I tried ringing everyone, and they said no. If he's got the child lock, you ain't got the PIN number. You can't use it. Which is gutting because there was nothing wrong with it.
That's so sucky.
Yeah. It's a bloody nightmare.
This game looks really fun.
But yeah, I've got one here, Bang & Olufsen, sitting here on the floor here. It's one I got out of a charity shop. Someone took it down the charity shop, and charity shops don't take electrical goods.
No.
So they left it out the front, and I just went in there. This is just before I moved actually, because it was a bit of a pain actually, because I didn't really want to be buying, getting stuff when I'm trying to move house. And I said, "Why does it work?" He said, "Well, I've no idea." He said, "We left it out the front." He said, "Because we don't want it." But I said, "There's no remote." So I took it home. Any electrical item that I'm not sure about, I stick it out in the garden and fire it up, just in case it does go bang. It ain't going to set fire to my house.
Well, the remotes go for about 50 quid now.
Yeah, but I fired it up and it came on. It swapped channels. It went through all the channels, the rest of it. But I couldn't actually tune it in because you need the remote to tune it. So I bought one. I bought a copy one off of eBay. And it didn't work.
Oh, got him.
So
you can borrow mine if you want.
I just want to test it. Yeah.
Yeah, borrow mine, mate.
And give it a go. I'll have to come up to see you at some point.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. I mean, I've really got to go, unfortunately.
That's cool. We always love your stories.
Just right, do you want me to put them on the Mojo?
Yeah, if you can, mate, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I just want to say that in our live chat on YouTube, Troy Gorton has left you a message just saying it would have been better if you got a boat in the channel on a rowing boat. He also said that game went broke in Australia a little while ago, and he also agrees that 4K is not there yet. HDR is really bright and glaring, and it's laggy to play on.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I don't like boats. I don't like the seas. There's no chance of me going over on a boat. Fucking hate it. Anyway.
Cool.
Nice to speak to you guys. We've also got to arrange a meet up soon. When the Sky Skipper reveals out the way, we'll sort of have a barbecue around here.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Guys.
Catch you later, Alex.
Yeah, bye, guys.
Bye. Cheers.
Yeah, see you later.
So who was next? Was it Stunty?
Yeah, it's me.
Stunty.
I haven't been on for quite a while, actually, have I? Do we start with the elephant in the room?
The elephant.
We've talked about it briefly already.
Oh, here we go.
We better really, because everyone's been waiting for it, haven't they?
Have they?
It was yeah, I think so.
What, the flop of the year?
It was a game I wasn't going to buy, and I lasted 13 hours. And actually, Webby, you were just as bad as well. You lasted 3 hours, wasn't it?
I don't know what about. I haven't picked it up.
What?
Destiny 2.
Yeah, yes, you have.
No, I haven't. Look on my played games on my Xbox, damn it. It's not on there.
See, that's the thing. What happened there? Someone bought it on a different console, didn't they?
Yeah, so, long story short, I blame being tired. So, I was on night shifts all last week. And after my last night, I had to go into town because I had to drop the car off to get it serviced and MOT'd. So I was like, oh, I've got all these old games here. 2. So I had a chat with the guys on our Twitter group, and Phil was like, oh, I'll get it on PS4 because we can play together, because we'd never game together. I was like, oh, I really want to get it on Xbox, though, because Chivo's, isn't it? He was like, come on, trust me, we'll play together on the PlayStation, it'll be super awesome. I was like, fine. So I went and traded in some games at my arch nemesis of games, so they did get some custom out of me, and picked up Destiny 2. And the cool thing is, though, I got all the pre-order shit, even though I picked up like 3 days after release.
Yeah, when I picked up, Agents of Mayhem, I got all like the pre-order pack with it and everything, and I just went in the shop and bought it.
Doesn't take much to.
You didn't hear that, all right?
But
you didn't hear that.
No, I mean, it was just as bad for me though. I mean, I basically said I wasn't going to buy it because I've got lots of games on the go at the moment. I mean, I've got another game I'm going to talk about that I've just started a little while back as well, and I'm really into that other game as well. And it's like, and then it was like the usual. You see it appear on Twitter, everyone starts talking about it. It's getting ready to hype. And then it was like, what have you got? I haven't played a shooter for a while, actually. I was thinking to myself, and the next shooter I do want to play is Wolfenstein when it comes out. And it's like, and I thought, then I saw some old friends were playing it. It's like, if you don't get on it now, then everyone else is going to be like 6,000 levels above you. So, even though most of them are anyway, because I bought it on Thursday, I played it for one evening on Thursday. I went out Friday because I had to go out, and I've been out in Brighton for the weekend. And today was the first day I got to play it, even though I've been lucky because I've actually got I got my daughter to play it. Basically, she said, "Oh, can I have a go at this? This looks quite good." And my daughter's only 9 years old, so realistically she shouldn't be playing it anyway, really. But there we go. And she really likes it. So, and she actually grinded me up 5 levels.
Good girl.
So, and ended up, Webby jumped in with her yesterday and didn't realise, wasn't it? You jumped in.
Yeah,
and...
I jumped in, and I wasn't in party chat because I just thought I'll play while I'm talking to Leanne, and then I was like, and then I decided to invite you into party chat, and then this little squeaky voice came on. "Hi, Daddy's not here. I'm just playing Destiny 2," and I was like, okay then.
So I'm doing a Peebs, haven't I?
Yeah, you're doing
I'm
a
using
Peebs.
I'm using my children to actually get me achievements or trophies, as they say. So
It's like one thing for me is because obviously I get pretty much everything on Xbox, and I'm actually really enjoying playing Destiny 2 on the PlayStation 4. I mean, it's not like it looks any different or plays any different. It's the same game. And using the different controller, my hands are used to controllers. I've played console games my whole life, so that's not an issue. It's like the cool thing about playing it on the PlayStation is I've been party chatting with people who I've not spoken to in years because they picked up PS4s and didn't pick up Xboxes. So I've been playing with different people in the community that I've not spoken to in ages. So that's been really, really cool. So I've been playing with like Brady Boy, and I'm trying to get on with Tim, but he's not been answering me. Played with some with Urban Big P and Delatov and a few other people. Tried to get in with Nobster 1 today, who, if you remember Nobster, when we had that meet-up, he just bought everyone beers the whole night.
Yeah.
I tried to get him into the party as well, but he was busy watching the football. But we had like 7 or 8 people in the party chat earlier on today, and it was just really, really cool to be talking to different people in the community and people I've not spoken to in ages. And it's just really, really cool. And I have to say, I was really on the fence with Destiny 2, big time, because Destiny 1 for me was such a letdown, and the story was about 2 hours long, and I felt like I got really ripped off with the DLCs, even though Kirk paid for them. So Kirk decided not to get this on the game share, because I did say I would go twosies with him on the game share, but he was like, "No, I'm not interested." So I was like, "All right, fair." So it's long because during the week I was watching a live stream, and obviously the game came out at midnight, and the dude had finished the story by 3 o'clock. And I was like, "Oh fucking hell! It's only a 3-hour game. I'm not picking that up." And then people started going on my Twitter saying, "No, actually, streamers got it early, and it took me like 12 hours." I was like, "Well, people aren't obviously going to be lying to me about this, are they?" So I thought, you know what, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and give it a go. And I think I've put about 8 or 9 hours into it already since Friday, and I've not finished the story yet. I think I'm on the last planet, and I'm level 19, so I'm nearly max level. But I've been doing a lot of the side. I'm not leaving one planet until I've done all the side missions as well.
Some people just rush through stuff. It's like they'll wait 3 or 4 years for a sequel to come out, knowing that there isn't going to be another one for at least another 3 or 4 years afterwards, and they'll sit down and finish it in a day or something, and you're just like, really?
Oh no, it's crazy.
You waited all
a
that
lot of people
time.
have done that because to a lot of people don't want to know the story of Destiny. They just want to get to the end and then grind for loot.
Yeah, because it's a big thing, isn't it? Look at me, I'm 280 light, and I'm this or whatever, level 20. It will never change. You're always going to get people that are going to be that they want to be. Look at me, I'm. It's like you get kill death ratio, and look at me, I've got a 9.5 kill death ratio. On games like Call of Duty, but you're never going to change that. But it's just each person. I mean, I'm playing it. I'm not in any rush.
I mean, I'm just enjoying it.
I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying it for the co-op with the community, really, and because the gunplay is really, really good, and you end up just kind of not really thinking about the game. You're just having really good conversations with people, and running around shooting things, and that's what co-op gaming's all about. The one thing that has let me down with this is like the co-op's only 3 player. I kind of wish they just made it 4. Because I'm finding people already in full parties, so it's quite hard sometimes. Excuse me, to get in with people. But apart from that, it's a really enjoyable game, and I'm glad that I picked it up, and I'm glad I got it on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've played of it so far, I mean, I'm only level 10, well, I'm more than that now actually because I played some more today. But it's good. It's Destiny, realistically. So, I mean, if you don't know your Destiny and you've never played Destiny before, then you're going to love it. And if you have played Destiny before and you went up and did all your light levels and did all your grind and the rest of it, you're going to love it again because it's a whole new story and the rest of it. I mean, it is good to end up chatting to. I mean, I was chatting to this Troy today. I haven't spoke to him since Grand Theft Auto on the Xbox. And it is great. You're getting to see people. And the one thing I did notice is everyone's online again. It's like we've gone through the summer where it's gone very quiet, which it always does in the summer anyway. But everyone's back into gaming again because it's September. The weather's gone crap anyway. And everyone's back into a new game, bang on it. And there's all these party chats. You go into the PlayStation. I'm seeing there's about 5 party chats going, and they're all for Destiny. And it's like, yeah, this is cool. I mean, gaming's good again. We've got to that time of year where it's going to carry on for other things. So, but the game in general, it looks beautiful. I've not had any issues with it. It's frame rate wise, nothing. It runs perfect. The story's quite cool. There's not much else I can say really about it. It's really good.
I do like how, like in the other Destiny as well, but even when you're doing your side missions, going through kind of the open areas, depending on what planet you're on, the public events they have loads of people there, and it's just fun it's just like that aspect is like playing like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy.
Oh, has it actually got more than like 6 people in an area now?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people in an area, and you're all like doing just the the big mob bosses and shit like that. They're just there in the world, like these public events. That's pretty cool. So I'm enjoying it. I've been finding myself a little bit addicted. But
the one thing I did point this out earlier, the only thing I did notice is there's a lot more jumping in this game.
Yeah, so Switch would not like this at all.
No.
There's a lot of jumping.
That's why I didn't pick it up.
But it's cool. It's cool to be playing with the community again because I've missed everybody, and it's been cool.
So, but yeah, as I say, if you see me on jumping, if I don't always, for the party chat, send me an invite. If I don't accept the party chat, it might not even be me playing. So just beware. So my daughter has done some bits for me because I mean she's quite clever these days. I mean, kids are these days. They pick up things very quick. I mean, she even did all my my characters. She leveled them all up. Leveled the character. I was like, bloody hell! I didn't realise you knew how to do all of that as well. So, but good fun. Not much more I can talk about that. I'll be talking about that for the next 10 weeks, most probably, or more. Right, I'll go on to some other games because otherwise we're going through the time here quick. Batman, Telltale.
No.
Yeah, no. Bloody hell! I struggle with this game. I finished
the second season or the first?
No,
one?
this is the first. I haven't played a Telltale game for a while, and I thought, I'll pick this up. And I picked it up ages and ages ago, before the summer actually. And I thought, right, I'm going to start playing this. I really struggle with this game. I love Batman. Batman is one of my favourite characters of all time. But the story is good, but it starts way too slow for my liking. It's the weakest of the Telltale games I've ever played. And I've played quite a lot. I mean, Wolf Among Us was my favourite one. And then you've got your Walking Deads, but I really struggle with this one. It gets really good at the end when you get to the end of the the episodes, as in like number 4 or number 5 episode. But it's got a really weird thing as well. I bought it on disc. You only get 1 episode on the disc. You have to download all.
Absolutely rubbish. Why do a physical copy if you're not going to have all the episodes?
That's right.
In there?
Yeah. So basically, I played the game. I then had to download the next episode because it won't let me download the episodes all at once. I have to download each episode as I've played it. So if I finish an episode one night, I then have to download the next episode, which can take, well, as long as it can take, which means you're never going to get a chance to play it that night. I also had a few issues where if the game, I'd finished the episode and it crashed and I couldn't get out of the episode. As in, it just stayed on the end screen, which says that you finished the episode. I was like, well, I want to get out of this so I can download the next episode. So I keep saying episode here. And it was just a nightmare. It really was. But I mean, luckily I didn't pay much for it. I'm going to most probably make my money back when I sell it on anyway, because I did buy it on disc. Will I play season 2? I don't think I will, actually.
Could you even sell that on? Because surely the other episodes, is it not a piece of paper you like put the code in and get the other stuff? Or does it just pull them off the?
It just pulls them off. It uses the disc.
Yeah, it's not too bad then, I guess. But it's false advertising.
Yeah, it's not. It's not like a one code use and then that's it. No, you can. So if I gave it to someone else, they can put the disc in and it will play, and then it will just download the next episode because it picks up the disc and it knows that the disc is a season pass. If you get my meaning.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know what Telltale games are like. The only thing I will say though that I did enjoy about the Batman game is it had a detective section, which is basically you've got to work out what actually happens on a crime scene, and that was quite cool. I've not seen that before on the Telltale games, and you've got to link things together, so you've got to do certain things. That was quite good, but they didn't really do enough of it.
Professor Mustard with the candlestick.
Sorry?
It was Professor Mustard with the candlestick.
Yeah, it's like one of those things, what happened here, why is that dude dead and what killed him and the rest of it. And that was quite cool. I quite like that. But I don't know. It's a bit of a shame, really. But the characters are good. The voice acting was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. They didn't have bad, because that's the other thing. Sometimes you can have a really bad Batman or the Joker and stuff like that, because the Joker is in this as well. But
spoilers.
Yeah, sorry. But it was just slow. I every episode I just struggled to get through it. But I did it. But I don't know. There we go. On to next games. Right, a couple of quick ones I do that are really short. Picked up Pure Pool again that I used to have on the Xbox One, but I lost it when I lost my game sharing buddy. That is still awesome. If you love your pool games, you've got to pick up Pure Pool. You can get it on disc now for a tenner, so it's brilliant. That's good. I don't know if anyone ever played Pure Pool. Anyone ever play it?
No, never heard of it.
No.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's just a pool game. So you can play all killer, 9-ball, stuff like that. And the graphics are quality and it works really well. How it works. Yeah. It's not shitty controls, which is great.
Last one I played was, I think, pool game and stuff, was Minnesota Fats. I think it was on the Sega, might have even been on the Saturn, I think. It was like the spiritual successor to Side Pocket, which was awesome.
Oh, okay.
In the day.
But, I mean, this came out, might be last year, a year before. It's on the Xbox One as well. And, it's on PS4. I don't know if it's on PC. I have no idea. But it's not very much money. So, if you like that and you want something, because it's great. End of the night, you're tired. And you think, just put a bit of that on. It's got nice music going on in the background as well. The old McDonald's, lounger music, as they call it.
Lift music.
That's it, yeah. Next game was a game I picked up really cheap and not sure about it. Struggling with it. Brick Breaker.
What the fuck is this?
Brick Breakers. What was the game that used to play?
Arkanoid, wasn't it?
No, it's the one, the early version where you just had the little line at the bottom and you hitting the ball and it went up and it went down. What was the original one called? Was it Alleyway? Was it Alleyway?
I thought it was Arkanoid, unless I'm getting confused with something else.
Well, I picked up that. It was only £2. Quite enjoyed it, but the only problem is you can't use your thumbsticks because it moves the controller too across the screen too quick. So you're using the D-pad, and it's real hit and miss. You got to be so sensitive with it. Otherwise, the ball just disappears down. You only get 5 goes, and then that's it.
I've just looked it up, and it's an Arkanoid clone.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Arkanoid was a sort of remix of the Atari Breakout games in the 70s. Mm-hmm.
That's it, Breakout. That's what the word I was looking for. So, but it's all right. It's just a shame that it's just too sensitive. And it's bloody annoying because, and also if you catch it right in the corner, I don't know if you remember the little tricks where you used to slide it across really fast and used to just slice the ball.
Yeah,
it doesn't do that on this. No, it just pings it and then pops it downwards, so then goes down below.
That sucks balls.
Yeah, that sucks balls. I was really pissed off about that. So, I'll talk about my best game in a minute. Ghost Recon Wildlands, because I don't think I've been on.
Baby.
Picked up this on the PS4. I like it. I really do, actually. The only issue I have with this game is it's quite hard on your own. I will say that.
You need friends.
Yeah, so you need friends to play with. And you can go online and play with other people, but I have an issue when you play online with other people. And the issue is that unless you're actually start to talk to these dudes, you haven't got a clue what's going on. And then the other issue you can have is you can wander off, and because sometimes these missions can be quite a way away from where you are on the map, by the time you get there, they've bloody done the job.
Oh, because you haven't unlocked the fast travel.
Yeah.
That area.
Yeah. So it's like, and then you get idiots that do stupid things. They don't go. You tell them you've got a mission to go and do, and they go and do something else.
What you need to do something is get it on the Xbox, and then you can play with the cool people.
Well, yeah, but everyone's moved on now. It's Destiny now, haven't they?
Man, I'll still play. Love it.
Right, but
Great.
There we go. But no, it's good otherwise. Really, I had good fun with it. The shooting mechanic's cool. I need to go back to it actually because I haven't played it for about a week or two anyway. But it was good from what I played of it. But it's just I need to get a little group together. There must be some people on the PS4 that have got it. If you have, hit me up because I want to play some more of it. We're not going to really talk anymore because Webby, you spoke about this game for.
Mate, I've put over 100 hours into this game. It's so good.
So, and then my last game is a game I've wanted to play for a while, and that's Yakuza 0.
Oh.
And it is good. I'm really impressed with it. Actually, it is really good story-based game. I never played because it's the very first Yakuza tells the story of where he started and all the rest of it. If you like the Yakuza games, you're going to love it. It's batshit crazy. Some of the things that are going on. I mean, there was a sort of mission I was doing. I had to speak to some old guy, and he said, "Oh, you want to go to this place? It's a fisting bar."
I saw you put that up on Twitter, actually.
I was like, "Okay, now that's gone way over the limit there." And then he went, "Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to call it that. It's this kind of place." And it was like, "Right, okay." So it's got some weird innuendos going on here. Beating up the dudes, the usual Yakuza style, is really sort of great and fun. It's just Yakuza. I can't really talk much about it because we know what Yakuza games are. Don't expect it to be like GTA. It's not that kind of game because a lot of people think, oh, it must be like GTA, but it's not because GTA is an open world. Yakuza is open, but it isn't. If you get what I mean, it's in like you only get certain roads in a certain map section that are open, and you can't just go wherever you want. They do block areas off. The save system is a phone box, so you have to try and get to a phone box to save the game. The game's beautiful to look at, but it does have frame rate dips. I've noticed.
It's a bit like a Dreamcast game to me.
Well, I mean,
it was a PS2 game originally.
Yes, that's right. It was a PS2 game. It was. The frame rate does dip at times. I've had a couple of times where I've noticed where you come up to a car and the sort of car it renders in as you appear. I found out, and actually I noticed that when I played it. Actually, it's a PS3 engine they're using.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, because the one thing I noticed is when you actually save the game, it goes into the old. Do you remember the old PS3 style save section?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes into that. Yeah, it's like what the hell? It's like, so how they got that to go from a PS3 to a PS4 makes you think, well, why, if they're able to do that, why haven't they been able to put the PS3 stuff on the PS4? Does make you wonder, doesn't it? So, but yeah, it's good, really good story. I can't talk too much about it in the story-wise because I haven't really played that much of it. I've only done about an hour and a half, 2 hours of it. But so far, it's good. It's really, really good fun. And that's it. And the last thing I will just say, I went to Brighton the weekend. Well, yesterday actually, and had a proper piss up and the rest of it. And we actually went into this place. They had a little cocktail arcade cabinet in there, and ended up playing Bomb Jack on it and playing some other bits and bobs that I absolutely was useless as because I was pissed as a fart. So, but yeah, it was a good night. And my classic, I've got to just say this before I finish. We went into a Subway at the end of the night. Now, I don't know if this is all Subways, but the Subway in Brighton, if you go in there after a certain time and order food, they don't cook it. So it's cold.
Huh?
Yeah, so you know the bun is cold. Yeah. So we said to the bloke, why can't you put it in the microwave? Oh, we're not allowed to use the microwave after 12 o'clock because the police say we're not allowed to do that because it's the licensing laws.
What?
So my mate turned around and said to him, well, I know. Why don't you move out of the way and let me put the bun in the microwave and I'll cook it? So literally, he just went into an argument with me. He said, well, I don't work here. I can just use your microwave then, can't I? And it was quite an entertaining conversation in this place. This bloke behind didn't want to know, did he? But what a weird rule that is. I'll have to ask Dan on that if that's.
I think he was making it up, mate. It sounds like a load of bollocks.
No, because the main head man came out in the end because it got quite look, I want it warmed up, so we ended up having to have cold baguette Subway food. Ooh. Really, really bizarre. But there we go. Oh, that's it. That's me done.
Cool. Switch.
Mainly I've this week just gone back to Final Fantasy 14, just leveling up a few classes on that and obviously whatnot. One of the things which was pretty cool last night was one of the sort of like people that's known in the community for doing a lot of like fan-made videos and stuff on YouTube with his like Mr. Face persona and stuff as well. This guy called Denmo McStronghuge organised Invasion of the Lalafels charity event yesterday for the sort of like Hurricane Relief Fund. Basically, so himself and another load of people, sort of like top streamers and stuff, such as like Mr. Happy and Ethis Asher and various other people, like Larry Zor or whatever his name is, sort of did this event where they basically went on to, I think it was Siren, and everyone there sort of like created, and they did like this Lalafell march across like parts of the like the realm and everything, and I think they made like something like $21,500 doing that, which is pretty cool to be honest. Even the stream's quite interesting to watch because I sort of like when I was up this afternoon like grinding my characters up, I just put that on sort of like in the background to listen to because they're all talking in like Discord. Mm-hmm. So you got all these well-known streamers on the game, all in this one Discord chat, just chatting amongst each other and having a laugh. So at one point they actually shut down the entire server, so nobody could create a new character on that server because so many people were creating characters on there, sort of a thing. But yeah, that was obviously having a lot of fun with that. And sort of the only real other thing, apart from sort of like a bit of Street Fighter 5 here and there on and off, has been Fortnite, which I've still been doing for like obviously my dailies and some other bits of bobs. I've been doing some of this new event like the Storm or whatever it is, there's something Storm, where you'll basically do the event, you'll get certain weird randomized effects on like the enemies and like your damage buffs as well on top. And there's a few other sort of like unique enemies that only really appear in that event as well. Like these weird little demons that put up sort of like glowing shields around certain enemies that you got to take the demon out before you can actually attack the other people, or sort of weird modifiers where like the husks, like the zombie things, explode when you take them out, so you can't really kill too many close to you or you'll be in deep shit. One of the things I have noticed becoming more and more frequent in the game is, like I said last week, people turning up and just going AFK in the corner.
That's just so weird.
And there's literally at the moment no way you can kick them out the game. So like you'll get people just turn up, park themselves in the corner on a ledge or something out of the way, and they'll wait for everyone to finish the level and reap in all the extra rewards and bonuses from it. And it's just like, look, mate, we're all here to play. We don't want to have to fucking carry you. And I think it was like a couple of nights ago, I was livid because there was like one bloke I kept bumping into in certain maps, and he was just a massive troll. He would literally just start the defence and run away. Before you could even, while we was actually building the fort to defend, he'd just start it and fuck off.
Oh, dickhead.
Or the one where you got to wait for a weather balloon to come down. You build the fort up around the area where it's going to come down. He just ran up and shot it out of the sky and ran off. So there was like me and one other person like fucking gritting our teeth trying to defend this balloon up while trying to stick the fences up and stuff around it at the same time while we're getting swamped. And yeah, unfortunately, I've been sending like, because you can obviously, because it's in a beta or beta phase, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I can't be bothered to go into that. You can sort of send the devs feedback on everything, and one of the things I've actually sent to them is you need a vote kick option in the game, because this is becoming a problem of people just being a troll or people just AFKing. But
is it still busy? You know, considering now we've got Destiny come out, has it dropped on the player base, or it's still the same?
Yeah, I will tell you one game I noticed a big fucking drop of players on Tuesday or Wednesday. That was Final Fantasy.
Oh, really?
It was a struggle to even get like 8 people for a hunt, like for an A rank. Just sitting there for ages waiting, like to gather people, and there's just no one around. It's just crazy. But I noticed this weekend there's been a lot back on it, sort of a thing. So, plus obviously all the schools went back last week as well. So, pardon me. So you're obviously going to have lose a fair bit of player base there and then, sort of a thing, like for the younger people. But most of the sort of regulars and people are still there. But yeah, Fortnite's still pretty busy, although I generally do stick it on around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon onwards, because you're generally going to get more people on then, sort of a thing. And I usually like have it on in the evenings and such. But yeah, I actually managed to get flukily enough out of one of the card packs to get my second legendary character, and it was like a legendary, like unique event character as well, which is a bit shitty because obviously you can only get them during the event, but it's still cool that I actually managed to get one of them at least out of the 4.
Cool.
So yeah, apart from that, really, not much else.
Fair dues. Wow, I think it's my turn then, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to keep you going for hours, guys. Sorry about that.
That's cool.
I'm joking. Right, I've only played a few games. Obviously, my go-to game still is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on the PC. I'm really looking forward to playing this on the Xbox One Scorpio when that comes out as well. 65 hours I've played of PlayerUnknown's, and I still have not won a single game. Noobenstein. It's really funny because I was watching someone streaming it the other day, and they won 3 games in a row and just made me feel even more inferior. Yeah, it's still really addictive. This is mine and Kirk's go-to co-op game on the PC at the moment. We're just, whenever we're both on in the evening, we just jump on together and have at least a couple of games. It's still as addictive as ever, even after all that playtime for me. You know, every day I just think to myself, I want to go back and have at least one game because it's just so much fun. It really is. So I'm really looking forward to this coming to Xbox in a couple of months as well, because it is just so addictive and fun. Look forward to hopefully playing with some more community on that. Also been playing quite a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. I've been playing it on both Xbox and PC. The new map is out in a spooky fairground, and that is really, really awesome. And the new operators are great. So yeah, Rainbow Six Siege is 2 years old now, and it's still going really, really strong. It has a lot of active players, and it's just great. It just feels great still. So. Just going back to PUBG quickly though, it is now the most played game on Steam. With it was reported that it regularly now has over 1 million people actively playing this game at a time. which
Wow.
I think is insane, and it's now sold over 10 million copies. And the game is still, beta.
You just reminded me that I'm going to apologise. Last week, it was 500 players that Lawbreakers had gone under, not 200. So
yeah, it was under
I got
500.
confused by something else. Yeah,
That's cool.
I just thought I'd clear that up.
Yeah. So yeah, go on, Sonny.
Well, I was just going to say quickly, just on that, because I listened to the podcast last week. That Lawbreakers and Fortitude, whatever it is, and Overwatch. Do you reckon they had spies in all these companies because they're pretty much the same game, aren't they? You know, they just
I'm
look
not
so.
sure which one was
Yeah.
first.
I mean, the massive problem is obviously I've seen interviews with Cliffy B, and basically when Overwatch got announced, he basically had one of his developers come in and go, "Oh shit," sort of a thing, because you don't know what other studios are working on. Apparently, Resident Evil 7 was already being worked on before PT had even released as the demo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whereas
yeah,
a lot of people are like, oh, they're just doing the PT thing, and it's like, well, no, they were actually doing it before PT because games take years to develop, sort of thing. So it's a pain in the arse. You might have someone sitting there like now, or say a few years back, or going, no one's done a pirate game for ages. Fuck it, let's make a pirate game, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, there's like 3 pirate games or something coming out at once.
Bizarre on that, I must admit. There we go.
But yeah, like I was saying to you, Webby, I think the best way they could save Lawbreakers and its dwindling population is for Sony to basically buy it out from under them and make it a PS Plus game, which will then be a cool game to obviously give away for free. Plus, it'll inject a shitload of new players into the community, because an online game will live or die on its player base. And if the player base ends up dropping, you just end up with the same people playing against each other. They'll eventually get bored. There's no point really putting any more effort into sort of any competitive side on the game from that point if you've got a shitty player base. Yep. It basically kills it.
They
need to get that back up.
I can't see it though.
Yeah.
Well, it was originally meant to be a free-to-play game, and then it's like, and then at the last minute, oh yeah, it's now 25 quid with free-to-play stuff inside. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, a lot of the bottom dropped out of the free-to-play, but unfortunately, the one thing that has stayed around from the free-to-play games is fucking microtransactions and loot boxes and all this shit that is now infecting all of our full-price games.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, technically, they're in Destiny 2 as well now, which is like I've seen some people say it's not really an issue. It's mainly the shaders and stuff, but they shouldn't be in the fucking games in the first place.
People will spend the money, mate. You know, and that's what that's what gaming's all about now, making money. So, I think they're here to stay, unfortunately.
I can actually see another video game crash coming at some point if all this shit keeps up, because it will come to a point where people will just be like, I've had enough of this.
Yeah. I think it's one of the reasons, again, why PC gaming is taking off, because, you know, it's just so much cheaper. So.
I don't think people got the money at the moment anyway. I think that's the situation, everything at the moment. I think money's a bit tight.
Well, that and the fact you can pirate the fuck out of everything on PC.
Well, yeah, there's that as well, you know, and sometimes that's pretty cool, but... I personally do not condone or do that myself, so... Swiftly moving on. I've also been playing 2 more games. So I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 1. I've been playing the new Snow map. It's pretty awesome, for those of you who have the Season Pass on Battlefield 1. And I just want to give a shout out. There's a game called Path of Exile. It's been on PC for absolutely fucking ages. And it is fucking amazing. And now this is a proper free-to-play game where you don't have to buy anything, spend any money at all, and it's like Diablo but with more content, and it's free. And it's now available on Xbox One for free. Check it out, guys. You know, it's not going to cost you anything. It's free to play, and it is really, 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 really good. And you can play co-op as well. I've spent a couple of hours playing it on the Xbox with beers this week, and we had a whale of a time. So, check it out. It's really, really good. And that's all my games. Okay, so on to questions. Paul Clark says, I can't think of any game-related stuff. So, on your scone, do you prefer cream then jam on top or jam then cream? Cheers, keep up the good work. I didn't know there was an order for this.
I personally find scones fucking disgusting.
Oh, I like scones. When I used to work in North Devon years ago when I was in my 20s, I used to have to make the scones up. So what I used to do is go out the back, shut the door, make the scones up, and eat all the cream.
It'd have to be a mixture of cream and jam, though. You couldn't have one or the other, really.
But yeah, I haven't had scones for ages. Not this year. Yeah, a couple of years.
Scones are like sweet bagels, sort of. Remind me of like the texture-wise and stuff.
So anyways, what's the order of thing? What would you do? Cream and jam or jam and cream? I always thought it's...
I'd say jam then cream.
I thought it was cream then jam. I'm not sure. I haven't had one in ages.
It's a lot easier to get that layer of jam down and then the cream on top than it is the other way around. And you'll just end up getting cream in the fucking jam thing then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, they only give you
it's
little
almost
pots
like
anyway,
those
don't they?
tossers that fucking use a wet spoon to fucking put their coffee granules and then whack them in the sugar. So you end up with loads of coffee granules in your freaking sugar.
That sounds like every workplace in the country. My question from this is it pronounced scone or scone?
Oh.
That is the question of the day.
Yeah. I think it is scone. I think they've always been known as scones, but scone is quite acceptable as well.
It's always the question that people ask. Paul Barry Hickins says, are you guys picking up Dragon's Dogma Remaster? Great £20 price point.
We were talking about this the other day.
I would buy it, but I've got not at the moment because I've got too many other things to play, and it's dated. It would be dated now, I must admit. I don't know.
It'll be the PC version that was released about a year or two back, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pick it up because I really loved the game when I played it on the 360, and
it's amazing.
I've really
fantastic
fond memories of it. I still remember being in party chat and with Dan, and I was like, how the fuck do I finish this game? I don't understand what to do. And then he told me what to do. I'm not giving away any spoilers, and I was like, oh, and he spent ages fucking me over in party chat before I did the thing. If you know what I'm saying. Can you remember what happens at the end? What you need to do?
Yeah.
That was really, really cool.
The game has like about 4 or 5 endings anyway, depending on what you do at certain parts near the end of the game.
Yeah. It's got all the DLC, the Dark Below, because I did play the Dark Below, and that's bloody hard. The Dark Below is. Yeah, it is a good game. I think if I found it in the bargain shop and it was a £5, then I'll pick it up. Only for nostalgic reasons, that you might play it again at some point, because I do that anyway. I mean, I've got bits here. I picked up Shadow of Mordor. I got it at a car boot for £3. I thought, well, I've played that. Yeah, and I thought, I've played it on the Xbox. I finished it on the Xbox. Well, I might play it again, so I bought it. You know, it's one of those kind of things, but it won't be on the top of the list for playing because I've got millions of other things. I mean, still haven't finished DLC for The Witcher yet.
That was a game actually when, like Shadow of Mordor, when that was released on last gen and obviously Xbox One and PS4, you noticed the difference on the PS4 and Xbox versions in comparison. It was one of the first games where they sort of did that, and it's like, wow, yeah, you can blatantly tell the difference there. But yeah, I won't be picking it up just because I've got so much to play, and I already own the original plus the Dark Arisen one as well on the 360. If you haven't played the game before, pick it up. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And my top 3 games of last gen. Like, it's still got the best open world combat I've ever fucking had in a game. Like, in my opinion.
And I love I love that you could pull your friends' characters in as well.
What was it, Techno Tracy?
Yeah, was that yours? No, it's Dan's. His character was well OP.
She was lost in the ether, wasn't she? Because he lost his save file or something, and he couldn't get her back. But no, you had one of my characters that was running around in a thong, which was like a dual wielding person, like level God knows what else. There was a few people that were right into that game. I don't know anyone that didn't like that game. That's another thing that's quite hard to find with games. Everyone I know played, really enjoyed it.
So I can't remember how many hours it took me to finish it. Was it 20 hours? 25? Wasn't that?
I did two playthroughs of it.
It wasn't like The Witcher, so it wasn't like an 80-hour jobby. I know that.
Yeah, I think I was like halfway through a third playthrough when I stopped.
Yeah, I'd say 30 hours. It's, 25 to 30 hours, I'd say most probably, unless you really rush it.
Right, the one thing that sort of slightly pissed me off about this is the fact that they're basing a possible sequel on the sales for this. And it's like most people who really like the game have already played it and we're waiting for a sequel, have been for years. Whether or not you could actually have a sequel, to not give anything away, because the story is pretty open and shut, basically. I wouldn't know how you'd pretty much work one in there. But also on the PS4, since pretty much the PS4's launch, there's been an MMO version available in Japan, Dragon's Dogma Online. Where's that?
That's cool, man.
And they've been releasing new classes and stuff for it in updates and things. And you can, like, it was over there when I was over there as well last time. But again, because it's like Monster Hunter, it blocks out all non-Japanese IP addresses and lets you use like the ways to get around it and stuff, which is just to be honest. But it's just a pain. You just think, like, where's that? I can understand because obviously that's just for PS4, whereas on this they can do it for the 360 and the PS4. But it's like, hold on a second, you're completely forgetting about a game here. What are you doing?
Yeah. That sucks balls. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma, just to wrap that up. If you've not played it, get it. If you have played it, that's up to you. But I'm personally not going to get it. So.
It might be one of the ones that I see later down the line, to be honest. Like, I see it running and everything and just think, oh, yeah. Like,
yeah, but it'll probably drop down to like a tenner within a couple of months anyway.
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll wait for the Christmas sales or New Year sales or whatever. Fine. Sonny J. Flack says, what are your thoughts on the Parappa the Rapper remake and what is your favourite part of the game?
We need Dan on for that question.
Yeah, the main person's missing. I never picked it up. I loved the original back in the day. I'll probably say my favourite stage was the frog guy, the reggae frog.
Yeah. I've finished it on the PS4. It's really short.
You did? You got past that bit? You got past that level?
I got past Cheap. Yeah, and Cheap is fucking Cheap, I tell you.
The cooking one.
Yeah, such a pain in the arse. So that was the worst one, but my favourite one is the Onion Man. It's still like the first one.
Oh, Mr. Chop Chop or whatever it was.
Kick punch, it's all in the mind, you know, that's what it is.
I've never played a Papa Rapper.
That's good.
What?
Man.
No, never played one. Never. I don't actually own. I've got two here on the PS2 that I picked up at car boot many years ago, but I don't actually have Papa the Rapper on PS1. Because it was a PS1 game, wasn't it, originally? But I never played it. Don't know why. Just didn't really, wasn't one that really appealed to me for some reason.
Fun,
I suppose now, if you think back to the fact of how short that game was and the replay value in it and the fact that it was a full price game,
it's
quite
up.
crazy, isn't it, when you think of
it? Up. Okay, next question is from Andy Robb. Which co-host would you pair with in a game of Screwball Scramble and why?
Oh my god.
Man, that's retro.
That was awesome, Screwball Scramble.
I saw one of them the other day at the car boot, actually. Screwball Scramble. I didn't buy it. I just saw one. They're not worth anything. I don't know, really.
Who gets really upset when they lose games? Switch. I'd pair with Switch because it'd be hilarious being on his team when he loses. Ha ha!
I'd just be like, that fucking dice roll.
Do you know what? I'll play it with Alex because Alex has got he's really butch, as in, you know, with his hands.
Oh my
Yeah, but
God.
there's a lot of little intricacies. I remember that's the one with the little wooden staircase that
That's
you
it, yeah.
slalom down and everything.
Yeah, because he's got
And the catapult at the end, where isn't it? Yeah, the catapult at the end where it flicks the ball bearing over and it hits a little bell, like ting.
That's it. I'll make sure you whip his ass on it because he's got his builder's hands.
Oh, one of the bits that we always used to cheat on when I was a kid is, you know, the fucking blind maze. We always used to pull the top off it so we could see where it was inside. There was a bit where it used to roll into like a little maze, and you used to have to use the little knob thing to sort of move the maze around. So,
okay.
But you never knew whereabouts the ball bearing was inside the maze if you lost track. So we just used to take the top off it.
Eating bastard.
But Mousetrap, that was a game.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
They don't really make board games anymore, do they?
Hungry Hippos was always a favourite.
That was.
Yeah, they do still make that, but it's something else. And the trouble with the board games today is they do actually make a lot of these things, but they're really cheap shit these days.
Yeah.
You reckon they could do a Hungry Hippos Parkinson tournament?
Yeah, you can get it. It's like Kaplunk. I mean, I had an original of that. Well, I did have. I haven't got any more. But we bought one when my daughter was quite young. And it was just crap. It didn't even stand up. It's just everything's just cheap shit these days. I mean, we bought one of those dog things as well that's supposed to poo out the back of its arsehole. And it got stuck after 2 goes, you know. So there's me, you know, trying to do an autopsy on it, trying to get, you know, the thing out of its arsehole, and it broke, didn't it? So
do you guys remember Atmosphere?
Yes, the Atmosphere was awesome.
It came with like a video cassette tape you used to have to play in on your television and play along with it. And I'll tell you one game that was like really super camp and stuff when we were kids. It was like this weird kiddies game called Go Fetch It or something.
Sounds like a game for dogs.
It was about dogs. You were supposed to play dogs, sort of a thing. And it was like really youngish sort of game, but you'd stick a cassette tape in and you'd play it and you'd have all this weird music and this female woman talking to you about bits and bobs, and it'd be like number blue, or it was like colour blue and colour green, go hide a bone. And you'd literally have to get up and you'd hide your coloured bones around the house during the time limits that you were given to come back, because you'd have to go off and look for bones. Like, you'd be sent off to go fetch a bone and you couldn't come back and carry on like with your game, obviously, if you weren't there. So the quicker you found the bone and got back, the better. But yeah, fucking weird. There's loads of weird gimmicky stuff like that when I was a kid.
Cool, man.
Anyway, we'll have to move on because we'll be all day.
A couple of questions and that's it. Russell Stone says, when King John finally starts the nuclear war, what's going to be the game you want to die playing?
Oh, blimey, that's a tough one,
Knuckle Shuffle.
I think you were going to say Final Fantasy there, Switch.
I don't know. It's hard to really tell. Like, would you really want to play something awesome, or I'd rather go in my sleep, to be quite honest.
Shenmue 3. I want to wait for Shenmue 3 first.
Oh, that's going to be a disaster. Just play Yakuza. I mean, half the dudes that did Shenmue work on Yakuza anyway.
Yeah, but Shenmue, man. Shenmue! And I've already paid for it, so if I want to play the thing. I paid for it like 3 years ago. I want to play the fucking thing.
Yeah, but that's a touch, because then you'll end up one day sitting there and all of a sudden you'll be like, Postman, what that? Ooh!
Ooh, game.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Which is always nice. Didn't you support Bloodstained as well?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That looks really good, actually, from what I've seen of that. That is one
Bloodstained, that's a Castlevania.
Yeah.
Castlevania thing.
Okay, last question from Inran Roper. Shenmue 1 and 2 and Bayonetta plus Vanquish double packs for PS4 and Xbox One leaked by Eastern European online retailers. What do you think is the likelihood these are legit?
Yeah, I reckon they are.
Yeah, the Shenmue one, I'm not too sure about, because why would they put Shenmue on Xbox when they're not getting Shenmue 3? That
Yeah, but
seems
you'll
a
get
bit
Shenmue
insulting.
2 on the Xbox, won't you? Because we're going to get the whole Xbox original back catalogue on the Xbox, aren't we? So you'll get Shenmue 2 on the original
Yeah,
Xbox.
I've still got Shenmue 2
Yeah, I've
on
still
the
got it.
original Xbox.
Well,
It came with a disc, didn't it, with the video
That's
Yeah,
it,
that's
yeah.
right.
movie of the original game on it, sort of thing.
I can
It'd be
see
cool
them
if they
doing
did
this.
that.
I can see them doing it because they've been really pushing Vanquish and Bayonetta on the PC
On
recently
PC,
in
yeah.
sales. So it wouldn't surprise me if they push HD remasters of all of these games on the consoles. I think it's legit.
I will say one thing. If you're going to be doing sort of like these cheap, I'm quite shocked it's me even saying this, to be honest. If you're going to be doing these cheap double packs and stuff for things, why are they bringing them out physical? Like, surely, like, even with, like, we're thinking of, like, the Dragon's Dogma thing, like, that's going to be, like, what, £20 RRP? Most of the time you're going to find it about 15, 16 quid, like, if you buy it online and such.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think of how much it's going to cost to produce and print all the discs and that for just a physical copy for a game that's not even full price.
Yeah.
Seems a bit of a strange one. Like, if it was going to be a 30 quid or a £25 or something like that, maybe. But for the ones that are sort of under £20, it's not really worth going physical, to be honest.
Next
is
That's it.
ending the show.
Oh, right, okay. All right, blimey.
Just almost at 2 hours, so that's a good time. Good time to end. So yeah, that's the end of the show. Thank you to the people that listened live on YouTube, and big thank you to you guys for coming on. It's been awesome. So,
all right.
from me, Mark Webb,
Cool.
Gamertag, Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby317.
From me, number one Stuntmaster.
And from Sensei Switch.
And me,
Yeah.
Alex.
I've got too many arcade machines.
I nearly died in France.
Why does the guest who leave always sound like an old woman?
it's just the voice. Well, if it's American, it's like, hey man, it's me, Carly Wally. You know.
How is he anyway, Collie? Is he still out like?
He's not happy. He wasn't happy today when he spoke. I came into the party chat on the PlayStation, and I got the impression Collie Wally was not happy that Webby bought Destiny on the PlayStation.
No, he said I was traitor to the green.
Yeah, but Collie's got a PlayStation. It's not like he can't buy it on there.
Yeah, but he's just. Some people stick to their roots of the Xbox, and some people stick to the roots of the PlayStation.
I suppose, yeah, because it's a shooter game and stuff. Because obviously, yeah, Collie's got like the Persona and all that sort of stuff, so he could have quite easily done it. But I guess it just depends what you're used to.
Yeah,
like shooters and stuff.
He's still playing Persona because he was on it today, wasn't he? So God knows
he's done. I think he's done 80 something hours. He said today. That is a long game. I think I've done about 40 odd hours on it now, and I'm not even halfway done. It's just a bit of a grind.
Was massive. Yeah.
It's a grind.
It's a time management sim. That's the only reason why I haven't carried on with it at the moment. Unless my head's fully in it, I'm just going to end up going back and being like, "Oh shit, what am I supposed to be doing at this time? What am I going to do? Oh, I wasted it."
Yeah, it's not super like that. I think you can pretty much do everything you want to do. Because I have so far.
Yeah.
Not going to buy any spoilers. So.
I won't buy it because I haven't finished 4 yet. I keep playing 4, as in like I will go back to I'll turn the Vita on, which I haven't done for a while actually. Put the Vita on, start to play it for about half an hour, then I get tired and fall asleep, and then I won't play it again for another month. It's just bizarre.
That's just kind of how I am with Persona 5. I'm like,
it's going to take me 10 years to finish that game, Persona 4.
So no one picked up Knack 2 then?
No, I saw it went free in some territories for a short while, but I was too late.
Oh, right, weird.
What game?
Knack 2.
Knack 2, everyone's like most wanted sequel ever.
There was an error where it went free on some on some stores. In some countries. I'm not worried about Knack 2. The first one was fucking shit. So
I liked the first one. It was alright. The problem with the first one, it was fucking hard. So and it was stupid, the checkpoint system. I never finished the first one. I got right near the end as well. I need to. Well, it's another one of those. Should really go back and finish and then get rid of it.
Just get your kid to go through it for you.
Oh, she struggled with it, but yeah, she did play it as well, and it was I don't know, it was a funny game. It's very repetitive, that game.
There's been a few other sort of like little ones that slipped out. I've seen a lot of people playing Everybody's Golf on my Twitter and really enjoying that. That was on the kind of like PS4 last week.
Yeah, I'd like that, but not at £30.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how much it is physically. It might be a bit cheaper physical.
No, it's about £28 to £30.
And possibly up there for title of Game of the Year, Rock of Ages 2, bigger and bolder. Bigger and bolder. I did smile when I saw that.
Right, guys, we need to end it here, so thank you very much. Don't forget to visit the website mojo-interactive.net. Follow us on Twitter at mojo_int, facebook.com/groups/Mojo Interactive, and the Discord link will be in the show notes. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Boy.
Dead on 2 hours.
Really?
Your last one was 2 hours. Last week's one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I need to jump off, guys, because the baseball's going into the last inning, and I want to watch it.
Yeah, I've only got an hour before I've got to get to bed anyway.
No worries, I think I'm going to have an early night tonight as well.
Busy times.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I think there's a bed till 2:30, and I was up at 7:30 this morning as well because we just woke up early. I was still pissed, that's why.
Mate. All right, guys, I'm going to go, and I will catch you later.
Yep.